I'm Yiky, and today we are going to talk about what is your dog trying to tell you and how can you spot them. Let's go! Why communicate? Communication means a successful exchange of information between two parties. So in this case, there is the dog and there is us, the human. That means it's interspecies communication. So because every species will have their own method of communication and perceiving communication, therefore there are bound to be some miscommunication between the two. And that's why, as dog guardians, it's our responsibility to ensure that we look out for our dog's communication signals and to best accommodate to that. Not only that we'll be better, we'll understand our dog better and foster a stronger relationship with our dog and to foster trust as well, but it's also really the best for everybody, because if you don't listen to these communication signals, either you're going to be upset, your dog is going to be upset, other dogs might be upset, and more importantly, the safety of everybody will be compromised. For example, you could lead to an injury like a bite. What affects communication signals? There are many factors that are at play, and that's why we need to understand them to tailor then our observation about these signals. For example, breed. When we talk about breed, like the pedigree, we have to bear in mind there are different breed traits. And this can manifest in the form of different body shape, different ear shape, eye shape, head shape, coat length, tail, whether the dog has got tail, no tail, how's the skin like, is it tight, is it wriggly? So all these are the dog's physiology. And it is going to affect the dog's ability to communicate, because this is the dog's tool to communicate. So as you can imagine, when it comes to cosmetic surgery, such as docking the tail, cropping the ear, these are communication tools that are being taken away from the dog, and it will therefore limit the dog's ability to communicate. And sadly, it doesn't only affect the dog, it will affect human and also other dogs, other animals, to be able to read those signals, and it can be a potential cause for misunderstanding. Next, we look into then, but thankfully, some dogs, they learn to compensate for this lack of communication signals that they're able to put up by being, let's say, extra friendly, just to say like, hey, my ears are cropped this way, I look really really in your face right now, but I mean well, just play with me. Next, we look into experience. So experience has got a few parts. One is, how has the dog's experience until this point? It will affect how the dog will send out and receive those communication signals. So it can be a personal experience, or it can be an observation of other dogs, and it's like a dog see, dog do situation, or it could be prior experience with other dogs. For example, when it comes to say two dogs are meeting for the first time, they will both have with them the experience that they bring, each of them in their life, and they meet, and from that experience itself will also be they will also bring such experience and the memory of it into their future experiences. And finally, we have personality. Personality means that a dog it will dictate how a dog interprets communications by another dog. So let's say the dog is more shy, and anything that might come across as slightly threatening might put off the dog that is more shy than a dog that is not. So how do we watch out for communication signals, since they can be so varied, right? So I've come up with this thing that helps me to memorize it. It's called O, A, B, C, D, E, O. And I'm going to go through it one by one, don't worry. The first one is O. It's observation. It's very important for us to have keen observation to pick up what are the communication signals, which is A. A is activity. What is the dog currently doing? Is it sleeping? Is it eating? Is it playing, running? B, body language. This is very important. Body language, which we'll cover in detail in a bit. means to look at the dog as a whole body. To not only look at, say, a wagging tail means equals to this, like a textbook answer. No, you need to look at the whole dog to identify that. Then C is context. Context is everything. What is the context that this interaction or non-interaction is happening? What was happening before that? During it? Right after that? Then D it's dog, the dog itself, the individual. I think it's worthy to look at dogs because every dog is an individual that you think of. There are bound to be variations in the way that they communicate for a lot of reasons that we covered before. So it's good to consider this every time that you're trying to interpret your dog's interaction with others. Then E, it's environment. What is the current environment? Is it a familiar environment to the dog? Is it an unfamiliar environment? Is it a inviting environment? Is it a bit of a scary environment, like the vet clinic, for example? So the last O is other. I call this the otherness. Your imagination is the limit, right? What are the other factors that could be influencing the dog's communication signal at that point in time? Is it other dogs? Other humans? Other triggers? We don't know. So, hence you have O, A, B, C, D, E, O. And just a tip here, the dog's body language can be, not just dog's body language, but the dog's communication signals can be quite subtle. So there will be something what we call a micro signals, and you might miss it if you're not careful. And especially if you're new, or especially if you do not know what to look out for. And for this reason, I like to use videoing. I like to video interactions that I have with dogs, whether that be in a training situation or in a situation where your dog does a certain behavior and it seems to repeat and you don't quite know why is it doing that, or you just want to have a better understanding of your dog. I would recommend that you video it so that you can review it later on and you can play it slowly so that you can look at the details that you might otherwise miss in a normal playing speed. And you can also look, there will be bound to be things that you discover as you go back to the videos later on. What communication signals to look out for? I'm going to be covering a few emotions, and along those emotions, there are things that I will point out for you guys to say, hey, this signals what, this signals that. Let's go.
What? Did you do this? Denver, did you do this? Denver, was this you? Denver, you won't look at me. Did you? What? Denver, did you do this? Look at me. Come here. Let me see. Let me see your face. Oh my goodness, Denver, you didn't. You did this? What?
Enough. They called and told me he was very angry.
I hoped you have learned a thing or two about what your dog is trying to tell you and how can you spot them. Well, this knowledge is crucial as a dog guardian because not only that you need to have such knowledge to better understand your dog, it's important for you to try to practice this knowledge in your every interaction with your dog. And because with that kind of mindfulness, you're bound to build a strong, trusting bond with your dog that will last a lifetime. So all the best with that. See you.